So we'll start with a bow. And we'll just arrive. Whatever's here, what's going on, just start to notice. You could close your eyes or have a gentle gaze forward, but just without adjusting or changing or shifting anything, arrive and start to bring your awareness to some internal sensations, to the breath, to the heaviness of the body. To the sounds in the room around you, to the sound of my voice. To the temperature on your skin. We can just start to soften here, unclenching any tightness in the abdomen or in the face and the jaw. We can even soften the mind a little bit, just noticing any tension that the thoughts may be holding, any upright squeezing of the mind. We can just start to soften into that and let that go a little bit too. Just notice what that's like. Find space. Keep finding more space. Move into the space. Checking in again. What's here? What's available? And working with that. Coming to the space right in between the ears. Filling your insides in. Almost like you're actually just sitting behind your eyes. Sitting inside your seat. So often we kind of hover above where we are, or we see ourselves from outside ourselves, but what if we just actually sit where we're sitting? In our bones, in our muscles, in all the veins and cells and fluids coursing through. Just bringing our attention to this matrix that is flowing through the body, holding us together, bringing us vitality and life. Sitting in our organs, feeling our volume. Solid but fluid. Restful but awake. And take a few deep breaths, just deeper breaths, filling the back of the lungs. Just feel all the little branches of your lungs filling with fresh air, sweet, sweet, fresh oxygen. And let it all out very slowly. You can let any sighs of relief come out, any noises you feel inclined to just express. Just bringing a little bit of rocking to your body. Just start to move with a little bit of purpose, not just moving for the sake of moving, but following the pleasure of moving, of finding your arms and wiggling them around, swirling them around in any direction that you want. Let this be for you. It's like, what do you want to feel right now? How do you want to feel it? This is our opportunity to just explore our bodies, explore our minds, and just take a moment to really find our humanness and what gives us joy. And so you can just now wrap your hands around your chest. Let's start with the right arm over the left. And you can like wiggle your fingers towards your scapulas. Maybe if you could even get your fingers back in there, that might feel good. Just pressing on that little button of tenderness there. Feeling your warm embrace echoing back to yourself. You can give yourself a couple little rocks back and forth, still leaning into that pleasure, into that joy. Ooh, you know where it feels good. You know where it's just like, oh my God, I love to stretch. I love to open up my body. And we can just play around with that as much as we want here. These are all just suggestions, invitations for you to just find the space that you want to contemplate your body mind in tonight, or that you just want to embody. No contemplation necessary, just be here. And then you can just lift your elbows up a little bit, look towards the sky. Come back down. Bring your arms out to the sides. Wiggle your fingers a little bit. Stretch your fingertips wide. Maybe even pull your arms back a little so it's like your shoulder blades are almost coming together for a little kiss. And then come back, wrap the opposite arm on top this time. Take your fingers in. I don't know if I'm doing the right arms. I may have done that wrong, but you know where it feels in your body. And give yourself a little bit of a rock here too, opening up the space of the shoulder blades. It's like your own personal massage right now, just getting into all those little sticky, stuck places. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And then lift up, lift your ribs up, look towards the ceiling. Take in some air, soften your shoulders down your back. And come back to center. Release your arms. Just bring them into stillness, just feeling them suspended there. Feel the energy, the vibrations you've created, the channels that are opening inside your arms. And then we'll just bring the hands together, making a little warmth here, rubbing them around, making some fire with your hands. Get them nice and warm. And we're gonna do a little bit of face action requested by Annie. And then we'll just lightly touch the warm hands to the eyeballs. Let your eyeballs release into your hands. Whew. Feel the warmth of the padding. Gently coaxing your eyeballs into release. Softening. Feeling the echoes of all the Zoom conferences and yoga classes. Screen time, little screen, big screen, medium screen. All of that energy into these beautiful little eyeballs. Just give them a moment to really relax. And then you can slowly just start to trickle down your face. Take your fingertips and just pitter patter, almost like there's little raindrops just dropping on your face. Notice where there's just the slightest amount of tension right beneath the skin, and just pitter patter that little amount of tension away just very lightly. It's like every little tap just clears away the dust of yesterday. We're just washing it away with our little sprinkly waters. And you can bring it to the top of the head too. Just a little drizzle all around, like little nice taps. Just brightening up the face and the back of the head, the neck, the tops of the shoulders. Give them a little tap, wake them up. And then once you get to like your collarbone or your clavicle, we'll go right underneath the collarbone and just kind of press our thumbs in there. Ooh, what's that like? How much tension are we holding here? Whoa, there's all these muscles underneath the collarbones that are just like, hi, thank you for opening me up a little bit. So we can just feel into that for a second. Gentle massage underneath the clavicle. You can use one hand or two. You can completely opt out of all of this if you want to just take a child's pose or any pose of your choice. This is just a little experiment. And then you can take your fingertips and just grab your nose, pull it away from your face slightly. I sound kind of funny when I do it, but at least you don't have to talk here. Just feel that space. It's almost like the nose has just been tightly wrapped around the front of the face for so long. And then let it go. Take a fresh breath in through the nose. Now we'll just take the fingertips and just kind of rub right along the sides of the bridge of the nose. Some tender spots there. We can just kind of open up, release some of the holding patterns here, all these masks we wear every day, all the hats, all the shoes, all the costumes we wear to perform our lives and the identities that we hold. But we can just kind of drag our fingers all across our cheeks now, down, down, down the jawline. You can take your knuckles now and just drag a little bit, just letting go of all these faces that we have to carry around. It doesn't matter what we look like or how strange it is. This is our time to just let go, make some space, find pleasure in the tension. Use the tension to find the joy and the pleasure. It's like that weird balance of comfort and discomfort. It's kind of like what getting a massage is like, right? You just feel like, ow, that kind of hurt, but do it again. It feels really good. And now just take your thumbs and roll them on the sides of your temples. So much thinking, so much holding here. And really feel it. You don't have to think about it. You can just feel into this. And then finally, we'll just take our middle fingers and just kind of swirl around the center of our forehead. Any amount of fingers you want to just pull the skin away. And you can just do that to the whole rest of the scalp. Just pull the skin away from the skull. Just take that tightening, just relieve it. Like taking stockings off, like really tight leggings. And then everything can just breathe. Now there's space there. And you can let your hands fall by your side. Just take a moment in silence to feel how the energy has shifted. And now we'll start to set up for our first pose of today. And so let's start with a squat actually. Before we start getting lower to the ground, we'll start with a squat. And you can place a block underneath you, or you can place some kind of cushion underneath your heels if they're not coming all the way to the ground. I highly recommend some kind of cushion regardless, even if your heels come to the ground. I've got this nice squishy carpet in here, so I actually can reach the ground a lot better than I normally can without the cushion. So it really is a nice support so that the ground can come to me, and then I can ease up and do a lot less work. So I recommend some support here. Just placing your hands together. Let your shoulders be soft. They don't have to carry any of this weight. There's just a little bit of a dignified spine. Just kind of feeling this openness in the front of the spine. And breathe into your spaciousness. Holding the paradox of release and effort. Keeping your shape, but finding space. Scan your body for any extra work you might be doing. And breathe into those areas, softening into your whole system, finding your edges, breathing space into the edges, dissolving, thinning the lines of yourself. If you're experiencing discomfort, try and decide whether that's mental discomfort or physical pain, sharp shooting pain. See if we can hold it, stay with it, lean into it, and move beyond it. Just a few more moments. If you need to get out, you may. See if you can just stay here, using the tension to find the pleasure. Bring your hands down. Use them as a little bit of leverage to just push your hips up. Come into a dangle here. Your knees can be bent. Your torso can be soft and lanky. You can give yourself some room to just move around. Maybe your hands just kind of glide across the floor, like you're just a little piece of algae flowing underneath the sea. No boundaries. You just want to float Let any sounds go as your head is low like this. It could feel good to just let out some ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Any sounds, doesn't matter what they sound like. Moving with the pleasure, moving with what feels really, really good. And then coming to your knees, we'll start in a sphinx. We might make a bigger back bend if we choose tonight, but we'll start in a sphinx. Doesn't matter how you get there, but get to the floor. And already there's a difference. Feeling the belly supported by the ground. Notice change in relationship to gravity, how that affects the whole system. The reverb, the echo. Softening the body, softening the mind. Arriving again and again. If you feel like you want to get a deeper back bend, you can straighten your elbows, walk your hands to a comfortable place, and just kind of let your arms feel loose. Give them a little wiggle around so they know you don't have to carry all of the weight. And just find a nice distribution of the weight here of your body. What could be the most efficient way to do this? So you exert the least amount of energy. You still maintain the shape. You still feel sensation. But there's ease and delight. Maybe a little curiosity. Using your discomfort as a way to find pleasure. It's like they're the little keys. All the tension is the gateway into the space. To create more space, to create more joy, more release. If you need to come down to your elbows, please do. We'll be here for a few more breaths. You can slowly start to lower yourself back down to your elbows if you haven't already. And then when you get there, you can take your hands, put them in a pillow, and put your head down. And so now, very gently and kindly, roll yourself to your side. And we'll come into this lying down Buddha shape. So one of your legs can be stacked over the other, doesn't matter which one. And then the leg that's on top, that arm will be closest to your body. And then the other arm will walk a little bit farther away. And so we've got these little kickstands, and we're sitting upright. We're finding the release here. You can let your knees bend. It can be a little bit more relaxed. Doesn't have to be fully upright and rigid. We're just easing into this side stretch. It's just an opening without force or effort. So what does this shape do to the body? What kind of thoughts arise here? What's this experience like? Maybe you slip a little bit. It's okay, we'll just hold ourselves here for a little bit longer. Again, holding this paradox of effort and receptivity. Structure and release. Space. You can lower yourself back onto your belly. If you want to lift your legs up and windshield wiper them, maybe you like that here. Otherwise, just stay still. Noticing any differences between both sides of your body. And you'll just gently and kindly move onto your other side, just rolling over onto your side. And then you can lift yourself up onto your arms, top leg and top arm closest to you, other arm a little farther away. It's a nice little ding, just a little pose here to feel, to find some beauty and grace, dignity, delight. It seems kind of easy, but after a while, this is like, oh, I'm doing this for a while. My arms, I feel them. So not collapsing too much, but not forcing. Softening the thoughts. Finding the ease for a few more breaths. And you can start to just roll yourself onto your back now. Keep your knees bent. Just feel the top of your torso drape across the floor. Letting out any sighs or sounds. Feeling the heaviness of your body. Your skin can spread out across your back. And now just bringing your knees into your chest. You can just grab onto opposite wrists or elbows. You can tuck underneath the knees, but bring your shoulder blades back to the ground as much as you can. So again here, just this little balance, effort and release, finding the ease within the structure. You can imagine you're like a balloon. The balloon is filled with so much pressure. There's so much pressure all the time around us. We have so many things to do and deadlines and things we need to prove to ourselves and everybody else around us, and things about the world that we want to change. And it builds all this pressure, just like a balloon, like all of the balloon is filled. What if we just let some of it deflate a little bit here? Let your edges just release out. Not popping the balloon, but just letting a little air out. Maybe it comes out with a little sigh. No need for pressure right now. Nothing urgent. Nowhere to be. Nothing to do. Letting out a little of that pressure. Finding some space. What's happening now in the body? What do you feel? What's here? What's there? working with what is, working with what's available. Be letting go just a little bit more of that pressure, mental pressure, physical pressure, imaginary pressure. You can let all that air out of that imaginary balloon so much gradually to the point where you just kind of let go of your arms and legs and just let everything sprawl out wide across the floor like a big starfish at the bottom of the ocean. All your little arms and legs suction cup to the ground. Breathe from your belly. And now we'll take any twist of your choosing. You can pick your favorite twist, which means you could stack your legs one on top of the other and place a bolster or a blanket underneath or in between your legs. You can cross your legs over for twisted roots. Maybe your feet go around your ankle as well. You just drape your torso towards the opposite direction that your legs are going in. Or maybe you just place a foot on the top of the thigh, turn it over. And you can make up your own twist if you wanted to, as long as you feel safe and comfortable and it's giving your body everything it desires. Just find a space that feels twistable and pleasurable, snuggly, very cozy. Breathable. Livable. Finding your home here. Notice what your hands are doing, what your arms are doing if they're working harder than they need to right now. You can let your shoulders relax, softening the back of your body, the elbows, the wrists, the fingers. Absolutely no pressure to be anything you're not. No pressure externally internally. Only vast, infinite space. You can start to twist to the other side, neutralizing whichever way you want to in between. But as you move, try to feel everything as you go, every little detail, every part of you that's moving. Just letting little parts light up, the pelvic bowl rolling and turning, the skin changing its shape as you move around, just tightening and loosening and recalibrating, just noticing how the cells ripple and change. Everything connects, feeling as much as you can until you're on the other side, nestling in, finding a comfortable resting place, twisting, feeling your body move in opposite directions, holding the paradox of being. There's a teacher named Bonnie Bainbridge Cohen. She founded Body Mind Centering, a somatic exploration pedagogy. And she says, embodiment is about what is, not what should be or could be. Not what should be or could be. Embodiment is about what is. We talk about that all the time, working with what is here, witnessing instead of reacting, softening into the current experience. We're not resisting it, we're opening to it, we're allowing, we're welcoming what is. A little less than a minute here, just allowing your experience to unfold, whatever it is. Take a few more breaths here. You can slowly start to come back to center, feeling as much as possible as you go. And if it's hard to find those feelings, that's okay. There's no right way to feel your feelings. You just feel what you feel, whatever it may be. This is your body. You know it best. You can take any final movements here that you feel like your body may need. If it's a big open stretch, yawn. Or if it's some more stillness, if you'd like to take any kind of restorative poses for your final relaxation, feel free to create a fish pose with your blocks or bolster. You can place a rolled up blanket or towel under your knees, maybe a supported bridge, or you could do flat back shavasana, curled up in a fetal position shavasana. Get yourself nice and cozy. However you want to spend these last few minutes here. No pressure. Just breathing. Coming back to that space in between the ears, laying where you are, sitting where you are, entering your body in the ways that you know best. Coming back into your fullness, even if it's just little flashes, little images of body parts or shapes, experiences, little flickers, coming back to life, being in your own self. And as always, feel free to stay wherever you are, or you can come to sit upright, take a moment of gratitude, and to close. Just feeling into your heartbeat, gratitude for this experience of being human, living in a funny world. And we dedicate our practice so that it may benefit all beings. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be at peace. We'll close with a bow. Thank you.